What's going on, guys? My name is Oliver and welcome to the very first ProductionHub tutorial. Today it's going to be a special one. We're going to be going over this classic Skrillex 2012-ish growl, and this is what it sounds like. Just heavy, just so heavy. I made this growl with FM8 and a bunch of post-processing. It's only really using one macro, so it's not a bunch of very complicated routing or anything like that. If you don't know how to group or set up macros in your group, then I suggest you go look at a tutorial on that first. Okay, so without further ado, let's get right into the patch. So here we are in FM8. We're using 4 operators, oscillators, whatever you want to call them. So here in the operators tab, we can see A is PWM ramp mod inverted, B is fourth formant inverted, and C is fourth formant not inverted, and you just leave F on the default sign. B is going to A by 100 and C is going to B by 9, and A is going to F by 100 as well, you can see here, but that is getting routed to the macro. In Easy Morph, we've got detune at 26 and the brightness at 13, and everything else is default. And the only effects that we have going on is the tube amp, and the volume's at 100 and the drive's at 56. So without all the post-processing, this is what it sounds like. So that's like pretty much there already. I almost stopped at that because it was just so good. Alright, so moving on, we've got the crew cut is the first plugin. It's just the saturator preset right here, crew cut. Just gives it that extra bit of distortion and crunchiness. Then we've got a bandpass filter that is getting macroed up and down. I've got it on a bandpass here on 12, and the res is at 47%. And lastly, the envelope is just at negative 42.3. And I turned the attack and the release down, but I don't think that actually does anything. So in the macro, I'll just let you see here, the minimum of the knob is 26 Hz and the maximum is 719 Hz. So when the knob is at 127, the filter frequency is at 719 Hz. The next thing I have in here is Redux, which plays a really big role in the kind of bit crunchy type sound of it. And it's really important that when you load it in, the default is hard. You want to set it to soft by clicking on hard, and set it to 2.06 specifically. If you do anything else, it doesn't sound quite as natural. So here. I just found that 2.06 works the best. If I can get it back there. Come on. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, the next thing we have in is a phaser. Gives it a little bit more character. You still want it to have 4 poles, keep the earth where it is. Color is at 14% and the dry white is at 51%-ish. And I am routing the frequency to the macro. So the minimum of the knob, so when the knob is at 0, is at 803 Hz, and the maximum is at 519 Hz. So while everything else is going up, this one is going down a little bit. Good stuff. Next is a gate just for the OTT so that you don't get those annoying tails that the OTT always adds, especially if you're going to have more than one. I've got the threshold at negative 31-ish decibels, return all the way down and floor all the way down. And now we get into the OTTs. So this one I have on the default amount all the way up, output at 0. And it's just a lot brighter and cleaner. And then I found that all the distortion and the OTT took away from the vowliness of it a little bit. So I put the envelope down to negative 80.6, put this to a high pass, and kept it on 12. And I think I've got the resonance at 33% here. And I am putting the filter frequency to the macro the same amount as I have the other one going to it. So at the bottom it's 26 and at the top it's 719. So there's that. Next we've got the mid-range fattener. I just pulled this from the saturator presets again. I don't think I did anything to change it, but these are the settings in case I did. Just gave it a little bit more intensity, and the enhancer also gives it some more intensity. So that's under overdrive and enhance. And I just set it to where I wanted it to be. So that's at 3.06 kilohertz and 3.02. I don't know what that is. I think that's like the Q or something. And then we've got another OTT, and all I did here was just boost the output by 2-ish decibels. Next we've got some reverb here. That's just to give it a little bit more space, but I ended up making it mono later on, so it doesn't really make that much of a difference. And then I've got a utility that I think I just had on before I put the limiter on. So if we turn on this limiter here, take a look at it. Excuse me. There we go. So this is where it gets pretty loud, so you might want to turn down your headphones or something. So this is just pushing it really loud. And then the last thing I have on in the actual group is this, and it's just an EQ. I use Pro Q3 for it, but you can use any EQ that you want. And I just did this to bring out certain parts of the sound that I wanted to hear a little bit more. So there's that. And then I've just got a utility to turn it down. My webcam's in front of the thing, so just gotta look around it here. So I'm just making it mono there, and the gain is at negative 10.4 decibels. Then I've just got Xfer's free dimension expander. Just gives it that width. And then once you've got all this, all you need to do is get creative with a macro. Maybe set it to triplets. Go in here. I think it's there. Yeah, so once you have this all laid out, the possibilities are endless, and I encourage you guys to play around with presets inside FM8 with this post-processing at the end here. Maybe you'll get some cooler or more accurate results than me, like maybe take the C off. So just play around with it, let me know what you come up with. And the FM8 patch will be available for download in the description, so check that out. And if you like this tutorial, please like and subscribe, and leave a comment with what you want us to recreate next, because we love taking comments from you guys. Peace out.